Hello, hello! Taren S here, House of Witchcraft, and I got Brujita back with me because I got a really good discussion that I wanted to talk with y'all witches about. Alright? Because I know a lot of you newbie folks, the biggest question I think we hear is, am I doing it right? Is this the right way? And wanting to go through the technicals with us and everything. And so I'm going to tell you what I tell every witch who walks through this cottage. Do you feel it? How does it make you feel? You know, if you're not feeling it, you probably ought not be doing it.
It's pretty good advice right there.
All right. And if you are feeling it, then it will make sense. It all just falls into place.
Yes.
All right. And we had talked about with a lot of you are like, my magic's not working. My magic's not working. I want to have this and I want that. And I've been working on this for this long time. Nothing's happening. Nothing's changed in my life. And we had a slightly off-camera discussion that we're going to bring on camera for you guys because we were talking about our physical worlds.
Yes. It's very important where if you're, and I'm going to harken back to another video that she did about, are you following a recipe or are you doing magic?
Yeah.
Are you following instructions, right? So it's like a recipe where it's like, okay, a dash of this and a cup of that and, you know, add some salt, right? Kind of like magic in a real basic form, right? But have you ever cooked and then you're really angry or sad or something and then your meal tastes like crap? Or it doesn't come out right, like your bread doesn't rise, things like that. Well, yes, sometimes it's the recipe, but also sometimes it's user error. And like she's saying, if you don't feel it, like if you are not into it, it's gonna come out in your magic, and it will come out also in your physical world. So if you are doing a recipe and you're, stirring away and you are feeling it and you got your grooves going and you are chanting or you're saying whatever the spell is and this, your spell, you're working, you're cooking, whatever it is that you're doing, you are rocking it and you feel that in your soul and you're having a great time and maybe you have others with you and they're all contributing in some form or another. Yeah, that's going to work.
I'm like, I want to be in on this.
That's amazing. Even I'm like, I want in on that. But if you're like, oh God, I've had a crappy day and now I have to cook and I have these people coming over and they're going to be in my space and it just brings you down, well, maybe it'll work a little. It depends on who else is contributing, but your contribution, it's going to be the same as what you put into it.
And that's where a lot of times I talk with folks, and here at the cottage, one of the requirements is that you must have your physical realm in order. All right? This doesn't mean you got to be a homeowner and have X amount of dollars in the bank. All right? What this means is that you have a secure, safe place to go home to.
Yes.
You have a job. You have a sense of security in your life. All right?
We all have worries and wants in our life, but that doesn't mean you can't do magic. What we're trying to say here is if you are in some form
heroin addicts should not do magic.
Not going to work so well.
Alcoholics should not do magic. People that aren't willing to recognize their own faults should not do magic.
And honestly, if you can't recognize your faults and you want to do magic, if it's not working for you, maybe need to look into that because it might be really, again, user error.
And we really do when we talk about, and I know right now the trend word is shadow work. I'm doing shadow work. Shadow work is about accepting our darkest selves and realizing that we're still good people.
And the unconscious self sometimes self-sabotages and you don't even know it.
And so if you've got a lot of self-loathing, you've got a lot of really negative talk in your head, you probably ought not try to make a love working.
Well, if you do, let me just say, if you do, make it on yourself.
Yeah, don't do it on no one else.
Yeah, but make it on yourself.
This is about getting your physical realm in order, your life in a point where you feel that you're in a secure place, a safe place, that you can really just dive into the spiritual magical realm.
Yeah, and sometimes it's only that day.
Yes.
Maybe the next day something happens and you get a note from your boss that, you know, the company's in trouble and you might not be, you know, employed very much longer. Things like that happen. They happen to everybody. So just know it's during that moment in time too. So if you go to somebody's house and you are going to do a magical working with them and you don't really feel that you're in the right spot, maybe let them know. And just say, hey, I'll be here to support and lend whatever energy I can, but I don't know that I'm actually in the right space to be part of that ritual.
Headspace.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And I've done that. I've had like bad news. I know we have a full moon thing going on that night. That afternoon, I get some really bad news that sort of rocks my world.
Yeah.
I have told the witches, I'm not in the headspace to share my energy with you. I've got some stuff going on I got to work through. All right. And that's different than what I'm talking about when have your physical world in order so you can embrace your magical self. Mm-hmm. That's different. We're talking about in the moment. Yeah. Magical lives are not perfect lives. Yeah. All right.
Most lives aren't perfect lives.
We still have all of those issues, and then because we say we're witches, we get more. But you need to be ready to open yourself up to truly changing yourself, recognizing that some of the behaviors are self-sabotaging. Yep. All right, so that you don't sabotage your own magic. Mm-hmm. All right, and a lot of folks, you newbie folks, you're not doing it consciously. I'm not saying that this is something subconsciously where deep down inside you've got some little broken record player in your head saying you ain't worthy. All right, until you can get out of that groove and realize that you are worthy. All right, everything that you desire, those are all valid. All right, you deserve them.
Yes.
But until you truly believe you deserve them, I don't care what magical you're working, you're doing, it ain't gonna work. Yeah. All right?
And it may be why when you're doing it and you feel like it's not gonna work, then it doesn't. Because there's that tiny little voice that's like, oh, you put that in wrong. Oh, you didn't do that right. Oh, this isn't gonna work for you. Oh, your magic isn't strong enough. Trust me, I mean, as High Priestesses, we probably sat in your spot going, oh, I've done this before, and it's not gonna work. And well, guess what? We just made it not work because we believed that.
Yes, that's where I talk about that. Are you just doing? Are you just following instructions or doing a magical work? And that's where each ingredient that you're adding, you're excited about. You're connected to. Mm-hmm. There ain't no doubt in your mind. You're not worried about if or none of that stuff. You're just all up in it, stirring it and making it. All right. And that's where we have to be careful with what's in our heads.
Yes.
All right. Y'all know that I forget to turn my phone off. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I always do. I'm like, I'll put my phone outside, and I don't. So it is what it is. But if you are truly not feeling it, and this is where you need to take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. And in this moment, can I do this magic? Is the physical world in a place to allow me to do this, to embrace it? All right, are there other elements outside of my control or of my own head?
So here's on this too, no excuses. No excuses.
That's what I'm talking right there. Power to truth. Power to truth. You're hearing two High Priestesses sitting here telling you, and there ain't no excuse. You bring me an excuse and see what I do.
So if you're sitting there and, I don't have sea salt, I only have regular salt, so it's not going to work. That's an excuse. That's bull. We don't believe that at all. Use what you got, and if that's what you got, you make it work. Most witches can do that. Yes, if there's some, detailed spell that you got from somebody and it's like, it's got to be exact. Okay, sure. Right. I get that. But in your own practice, if you're making excuses for, anything at all, even if it's nothing that is within the magical space, but also your physical space or your mental space or your emotional space, like, well, I've had a really hard day today and so I'm not going to be able to do magic. Well, if you believe that, then yeah, because that's your excuse. But I've come home many a time having a really bad day, and I've used that as my catalyst to doing really good magic, because it's like, okay, I'm angry because I had a really bad day at work and this person really upset me. So guess what? I'm going to use that passion. I'm going to use that as my fuel into whatever I want to do in my working. Now, maybe it's made me so angry that I realize, headspace-wise, no, this is bad. Let's not do that. But that's also something you have to determine for yourself, because you don't want to go into something and then not be able to fix it on the back end, if you know what I mean. You know?
Yeah. Don't be casting nothing you can't undo. This is about keeping it real. Mm-hmm. You keeping it real with you. All right? And taking those couple of minutes, all right, to get those broken records, those negative thoughts out of your brain, and bring in the I am magical. All right? Everything I do is going to succeed. Mm-hmm. And when you hit that headspace, your recipe's working, all right? Okay? Yeah. But it's getting it to that point where you're feeling it, and that's what we're talking about. If you don't feel it, don't do it. Don't try to, I've told these people I'm going to do this, so I have to do it. Yeah. Whatever,
Plans change.
It's like I said earlier, a couple months ago, I had a little bit of personal issues, and when I realized it had shifted my energy too much, I just politely said, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. Mm-hmm. And if you're around a good group of witches, they should at that point recognize that you're showing self-care and you're also showing respect for them. Yeah. And so the only thing I got was encouragement.
Yes.
If you're getting guilt of, you should come. You said you were going to be here. You need to come do this.
If you are the only active ingredient in a spell, that ain't a good spell.
You know,
I'm talking like with a group, right? If you have to be there for the spell to work or the working to work or whatever it is that they're doing, that's not good.
Each of us come to the circle as individuals first.
Yeah.
And if you got some folks that are relying on you to do their magic, then maybe the reason your magic isn't working is because you're so drained doing for other folks.
And then, why aren't they paying you?
Yeah, I know.
Why aren't they paying you?
That's what I'm saying. And I will put a pay to Taren below link. You can pay me. Just pay us all and everything. But really keep in tune with your truth.
Yeah, and that harkens back to the original thing of, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Don't do it. Just because so-and-so said that this works, just because you read it in a book, that does not make it your truth, your magic. All right? Be inspired by what other folks are doing. Be inspired by the wonder. I mean, we've got some amazing authors, and which have got some good workings in their books.
There's a lot on the internet now, too. And, say it's a full moon, and you have some folks that you were going to do something with. Maybe it's just a solo practice, whatever it is. If you don't feel up for it, again, you've had a bad day, maybe you've hurt yourself, maybe you are broke and you can't make it and you have no gas money. Whatever. Don't use those as excuses, but just understand for yourself, am I in that right space? Because guess what? If you're at home because you can't drive, you can still do your own personal thing. That's totally fine. You can just be at home and, do your own candle spell or your own meditation or whatever it is that you need to do, because you have that ability. You don't have to drive somewhere to be a part of that. You can still do that for yourself. But if you don't, and it just doesn't feel right, you sit on that couch and you watch Netflix.
And I want to say, when you go stand under that full moon in your backyard, you're not alone.
Never.
All around the world, there are witches, magic folk. They're standing under that full moon with you.
Yep.
You take a deep breath and you connect to those energies. I mean, I know my group, I know her group, and several other groups. When we get out into a full moon, we give a little shout out to all you witches that are standing in your backyards by yourselves. Mm-hmm. We really do try to send our energies out to you. We want you to know that you're not out there by yourself, all right? So don't think you're out there alone.
No, because even when you are literally alone, and doing your own spell work or your own working or whatever, standing under the full moon and just enjoying, we're there too. In some form or another, we really are. And that energy, it is sent out into the universe for anybody to pick up on. And maybe you're not energetically sensitive right now, but keep up your practice and keep working it.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh, hey, I feel this person. Oh, hey, I feel that person. Maybe we don't know each other exactly, like face to face or name to name, but guess what? Energetically, maybe someday we might meet. It's going to be pretty cool when we do.
And so I'm going to go ahead and end this video up with speak your truth, be true to yourself, and your magic's going to be powerful, all right? And for you new witches out there, I'm going to give you the same wisdom I've been giving you for years. Patience.
Yes.
Patience. Y'all want it
Can't
right now.
stress that enough. Just patience.
Just keep getting out there doing it. When you're feeling those moons, do them. When you're feeling that urge to light a little candle and connect to divinity, you can do that anytime. All right? Do it. And I guarantee you over time, you will become more energetically aware and you will feel when we're in circle with you.
Yes.
All right. I want to thank Brujita for joining us and giving us some really good information and everything. And of course, to all you new witches, you know I'm always so excited to see you guys out there. You keep up the good work. All right, you have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be Ashe and A Bobo.